up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up?
The goodest night, right about the hood.
What up, what up, what up?
No means no, and yes means no.
What up, what up, what up? Now I'm already needing a drink. What up, what up, what up? Oh, dear God. What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, Teddy27. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What is up? What's up, what's up? It's me, Teddy27, and I am back for yet another review. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be our review for Chasing LA. It is season 1. This is the reunion, and it is part 1. Now, get my drink. Oh, that drink is extra good. All right. So let's talk about this, y'all. So we start off, no Imani Van Zap, which, if I'm being brutally honest, I was okay with. Perfectly fine with Mr. Ray. In my estimation, he kind of did better than Imani to me. I mean, we saw Imani in 2 reunions. We saw her in Chasing Dallas, where there was no institutional control. The inmates were running the asylum. No management. And then we saw her in Chasing Atlanta reunion, and she was kind of all over the place. I don't know if she came up with her questions or somebody fed them to her, but it was just all over the place. It was very erratic. The topics, it was just all over the place. It felt awkward and clunky at best. So I thought Mr. Ray was great for the reasons that he said. He's been on reality TV. He's been behind this camera. He's been in production, so he knows all of those angles. So he comes at it from an angle that Imani can't come from, and has expertise that she doesn't have. So his line of questioning and his method of handling the girls was a lot better than what we've seen in the past from Imani. So I was here for it. The only thing I wasn't here for with him was those goddamn sequin tights. Girl, who told you to wear those sequin tights? But I guess, girl, I mean, Imani could have a whole neck issue going on. So if she'd have a neck issue going on, he can have his sequin tights going on. God. In terms of looks, I'm assuming sequin was one of the themes, because a lot of them had on sequins on some part of what they had on. But everybody, for the most part, looked really good. I was in terms of an overall cast, they definitely are the best dressed overall cast for any reunion of the Chasing reality brand. Definitely. If I'm being nitpicky, I felt like King Payne's outfit, he had on like this sequin polo shirt. He felt underdressed to me. Like I would love for him to have had on a suit of some type, or at least a blazer or something. Jayla, I wanted her to have a better dress. Her dress wasn't bad, but I wanted her to dress it up a little bit more, be a little more glammed out. I also wanted her to close her damn legs on the damn couch. I mean, les yeux. When you say I am a les yeux, you have to know, cross at the ankles and keep those knees together, honey. Because, girl, we almost saw all glory during certain parts of that doggone reunion. But, girl. Anyway, so Alicia wasn't there. She was not there. I don't know why. But, yeah, it is what it was. Well, I do know why. We'll talk about that in a second. Let me take that back. We do know why. Production. We've been complaining about production and the quality of the videos and audios all season. So why would it be any different now? The venue looked beautiful. It looked like an immaculate venue. However, there were mirrors in certain places behind the cast. And y'all still have the problem of having members of the camera crew and production and stuff walking by, and you can see them on the mirror. And y'all should be beyond it now. Some I don't know if it was certain cameras or certain camera angles seemed a little blurry or something. Maybe it was my eyes, maybe because my glasses always seem dirty for some reason, but maybe it was my vision. But when they panned to certain cameras or certain angles, it seemed a little more blurry. It was not in 4K. Just saying. Also, there was terrible audio issues. Like, at first I thought maybe it was me, but then I tried to turn it up and I still couldn't hear. I was trying to get my YouTube to do the closed caption, so maybe it could figure it out, and I couldn't find it. It was a mess. I couldn't hear some of the stuff, but whatever. Y'all need to have worked all that out. Anyway, so then they discussed Alicia not being there. Shouts out to Jeremy because Jeremy immediately chimed in and said, "Hey, I spoke to Alicia. She's in New York. She didn't want no parts of these whores. She needed a mental break from these girls, and I'm here for it." Somebody saying that they need a mental health day is just like somebody's calling in sick, and because having mental health issues is just as serious as having physical health issues. And if she says, "I can't do it today because my mental health is not at a good place," that'd be just like her saying, "Baby, I'm in the hospital right now and I can't make it to the reunion." It's the same thing. So for all of those people in the cast having problems with this girl saying she needed to, she couldn't do it because of her mental health, the problem is you and not her. And then we had Andre, who spoke up, saying, "Oh, if you ain't in this room, then you ain't part of the cast in my estimation." Nobody asked you. Nobody's checking for you. Nobody's asking for your opinion. Nobody gives a shit about who you do or do not see it for, or who you do or do not think is on the cast. Hell, most of the viewing public don't want your ass on the cast. So what the fuck are you talking about? Who gave you the power to put people on and off the cast? Who put you in charge of the girls? A mess. He's a whole mess. This whole reunion, just a mess. Anyway, they discuss Alicia at well, let me say this. What I'm not gonna do, what we're not gonna do is do like they did on this reunion and rehash things that we saw on camera. If I saw it on camera, good, I ain't going through this again. We saw it on camera. We reviewed it the first time it happened. I'm not going over that again. What I will do is give you, if they gave us extra little snippets and insights, we'll do that. But what we're not gonna do is rehash shit that we already talked about on previous reviews. I just laughed because everybody did have a fan. Damn near everybody had a fan in this reunion. They were like, "Girl, we would not be caught without a fan." All right, girl. Anyway, so they discussed Alicia at first because she wasn't there. Then they talked about the whole her saying somebody was on drugs at Proud Mary Hamburger, Mary Magdalene, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, whatever the name of the place is. Oh Mary, won't you weep? Oh Mary, don't you weep? Tell Martha not to moan. Whatever the name of the place is. Mary had a little lamb. I didn't care. We already hashed that out. Moving on. Then they discussed Alicia and some of her highlights and lowlights, and they showed them throughout the season. So then they get to the point where they talk about Alicia and Fran and how there was a misgendering. Then there was the whole thing about her using her incorrect pronouns. Now, at one point, this whole argument was very long for no damn reason, very drawn out. But the more Fran spoke, the more idiotic he sounded. I mean, everything that came out of his mouth, it just did not go together. And he was doing the best job he could to cart out and litter the conversation with words that he deemed, to be academically sound and make him sound more intellectual. But sweetheart, argumentative speaking and or writing is not just about vocabulary, but it's about that argument having backing, being first founded within facts and truth, then surrounded with commentary, objective and subjective opinions, and then deductive reasoning and conclusions. But you start off with backing, and none of what you said had backing, especially when you decided to enter into the whole argument. Oh, do you not know who Flame Monroe is? Hello, yes we do. And Flame Monroe is an example of an old motherfucker who should not be talking, who proves that just because you are older does not mean you're wiser, because she is not. And some of the incendiary comments that she has made across the fruited plains about gender identity and about the trans community has set that community back decades. A lot of what she has to say should not be heard, and she should never be the standard bearer or person that we look to give us any idea of how we should think, treat, or set ideologies with regard to gender identity and or the trans community. And every time you spoke, you sounded just as imbecilic as she does at times. There was a moment there where you just lied, and then you went back into your bag of tricks, which is, and this is why I still don't believe that Fran is non-binary, okay? Because Fran has a tendency to be in the middle of an argument, and then in the middle of that argument, he'll just try to pull shit out of his ass that he makes up, or that's just a blatant lie, just for the sake of trying to win said argument. Which is why I still don't believe he's non-binary. Because I believe that when he said that to Alicia, he only brought that out, farted that shit out, just because he wanted to say that in order to help him in his argument with Alicia. And then this time he said, "I never called you a man, Jayla. I call Alicia a man." No, bitch. When you were at that little Valentine's Day, whatever the fuck it was, and she threw that thing on Andre, and there was this whole skirmish that ensued, you were calling Jayla a man. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I remember her calling Jayla a man in that case. Now, she called Alicia a man other times, but I remember her calling Jayla a man too. Also, then this whore tries to bring up, oh, well, I dated somebody who said that they used to date you or whatever. And Fly King I was sitting next to him, and the rest of the group was like, "Girl, where's your receipts? Go bring them out." And he pulled out his phone as if he was gonna pull out receipts that had nothing, zero, nada, the big zipperoo. The bitch ain't have shit. And then, there was this whole, as a member of the society of elitist people across the fruited plains. Okay, you carting out that whole, if you had brain cells, that only works, dear one, if you're winning the argument and if the things that you say or are saying is intellectually sound. But you do not have the intellectual stamina, wherewithal, and fortitude to put that statement out there, dear one. It was a mess, just a damn mess. And then he never brought out the receipts because he didn't have any, because he just made that shit up because he thought that would help him win that argument. And he kept deflecting and coming up with other things in order to deflect from him ever pulling out receipts. Because the bitch ain't had none, because Jada came right out and said, "Hey, boo, I only dated like 2 or 3 people since I transitioned. Girl, none of them know you. Where's your receipt, boo?" Baby Jayla sat right there like, "Girl, where's the receipt, honey? I'm waiting." Because Jayla knew you were lying. And you do that shit all the time. You just pull shit out. You fart shit out and try to act like that helps your argument, and the shit is just blatantly wrong. It was a mess. Just a damn mess. At a certain point, I just wanted him to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, Fran. Just shut up. Fran was a whole ass clown, okay? A whole ass clown. He's just an ass clown. That's what Fran is at this point. Nobody wants to hear you, Fran. Nobody wants to see you, Fran. Nobody wants any parts of you. You and Andre and D. Hawkins can go somewhere, shrivel up, and fall off a cliff. Anyway, moving on. They then start to discuss Fly King I, and when he finally made it into the show or whatnot, and they hashed all of that out. But one of the things that came out was that a video that that D. Hawkins had. So we saw when D. Hawkins and Fly King I hung out at this taping or event or something that Fly King I was having, and D. Hawkins came. So D. Hawkins said that his assistant, bust down for the weekend, came with him and was filming part of it, I guess, along with production. And she had her own copy of. And here's my thing, and this is to you, production. Production. I dropped my pen, y'all. I'm sorry. That's why I'm looking out. You should not have D. Hawkins having his own separate camera crew or somebody recording stuff during, time that y'all supposed to be on set for this show. You should not have that. The only people who should have access to cameras, recording, and all of that stuff is members of the production team. If y'all are actually filming for the show, now if they film some stuff afterwards, fine. But if you allow this, then you have this type of fuckery happen, because what happens is D. Hawkins has his own video, and when he went to go meet with the people down to his studio time, he showed that video, and he was very shady to Fly King I. He was just over there Kiki and Kaka, and shouts out to Jada Nerd, with Fly King I, and then the next time he saw the rest of the crew, oh, let me show y'all what Fly King I said. Yeah, the way he did present it was shady. I remember that. It was very shady to Fly King I. And it would make anybody look at Fly King I like, who the fuck is this bitch? And why the fuck is he talking about me? And that bitch ain't never met me. So you can save that, D Hawkins, but we already know you ain't shit, so it's okay. And then him and Andre said the most asinine statement of the first reunion, part of the reunion, which was when they said, oh, well, if y'all can't remember verbatim, word for word, what Fly King I said about y'all, then y'all basically said their argument or them being angry has no merit because they can't remember verbatim, word for word, what Fly King I said about them. Okay, hello, newsflash. Most people don't have photographic memories and can remember word for word exactly what somebody said, but you know the gist of what they said. You know if a bitch shaded you or not. That's the dumbest thing that I've heard on this reunion thus far. And it's stupid of you to say that, D Hawkins, because we'll get to how everything you said with that is stupid in a few minutes. So they had that whole thing and it went away. So then we had the whole conversation and discussion about Jeremy and D Hawkins fucking each other, flip-flopping in the bed, doing the do to each other. Because let's be clear, there was no real relationship. Y'all hoes got horny, hot in the ass, fucked a few times. It was a bust down situation, and y'all should have moved the fuck on. But Jeremy got caught in his feelings. See, I think what happened was Jeremy got caught in his feelings. D Hawkins didn't. Anyway, there was this whole thing where, you know, it was all about D Hawkins posting this picture of him in the underwear. I'm a brand ambassador. And Jeremy was like, bitch, I'm a brand ambassador too. My whole ass dick is out there on the internet. I'm a brand ambassador for several underwear companies. And he did mention Trusty Treasure. Shouts out to Rue Michael because I do remember that vividly. Rue Michaels was one of those first guys that when you go back to when they started doing the brand ambassadors for underwear companies, Rudell Michaels. I remember that. That was way back in like 08, 09 and somewhere around there. Anyway, Jeremy came right out and said, bitch, I'm an ambassador too, and if you know what you know, you're not posting shit at 2 or 3 in the morning because ain't nobody awoke. Nobody's up. So why the fuck would you be trying to sell shit at 2 or 3 in the morning if nobody's going to be awake? It doesn't make sense. And so he was like, yeah, that they wouldn't have you do that at that time. You were doing that because you wasn't selling underwear, bitch. You was selling ass. And if we supposed to be talking, you ain't supposed to be selling ass. Then this bitch, D Hawkins, had the nerve, after you and Andre had the audacity to tell, you know, King Payne and Jayla and all other people that unless they knew verbatim word for word what Fly King I said they couldn't, you know, be mad. You then, the next few minutes later, said, oh, well, I don't know what time I posted it, so it don't really matter because I can't remember really what time of day I posted it. It does matter, because just like you wanted it to matter for them to know word for word what Fly King I said, bitch, you needed to know to the millisecond the time of day or night that you posted said video, because that is the whole basis of the argument that Jeremy is making, that the time of night that you posted it was not the time that somebody being a brand ambassador would be posting it. Whatever. That shit went on and on and on. I ain't really care at that point. I kind of checked out, and it went on from there. That's all I got for y'all. It is what it is. It was what it was. They look good. I mean, y'all, shouts out to I think King Payne for telling D Hawkins that he had on a wig with them little curls. Girl, I don't know, honey, but I don't know. That's all I'm trying to think of anything I missed. No, Hershey looked good, but yeah, we ain't missed much. Nope. That's all I got. Until next time, y'all. Oh, sorry, y'all. But until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.